One of the things I always said years ago is what happens when the tech giants enter the world of access. And we've seen that rapidly over the last 2 years and dribs and drabs before that. They bring a level of attention, which brings a level of excitement, right? Because the minute people hear a tech giant name, their ears perk up and they're like, what are they talking about? So it increases an engagement from that perspective, and users are interested. They raise the bar to a certain standard that they're used to globally. They're big on the experience, big on quality control. That always hasn't been the case for many, many years. So I see it as a positive overall.
Welcome back to another episode of Locked In on Security, your go-to podcast for everything security related. Brought to you by Alert Enterprise, the leaders in AI-powered physical identity access management. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode. As we said, we were having a special episode here on site at HID, and we are with their mobile leadership team, and we're excited to be able to ask them a few questions and get some insights from both the event that we just had at HID Origin, as well as some of the things that we're going to look for in the market as we go forward in this year. So I can't wait to get started, but first of all, I have to say congratulations. That was an amazing event. Like, honestly, really well done, really well executed. But what I liked the most about it was the fact that we all got to get together. We got some education. We also got to network with our peers within the industry, even competitors. Like, we all were trying to solve this challenge and bring the market forward. So thank you for hosting. Thank you for bringing us together. Really well done. I just want to hear some of your thoughts about, like, why do you do HID Origin? What's that about? And maybe just a takeaway that you have from it this week and going forward into this year.
So Origin represents an opportunity, a unique opportunity for our partners, for our ecosystem to come together. And it's actually more than just a conference. It's a platform for innovation and idea sharing. Our partners get to speak to us, to our HID experts and HID leadership. So it's a real platform for innovation and idea sharing.
Yeah, and you guys gave us an insight into where you're going with this. One of the things I loved was that you said this is no longer sort of this buzzword idea. Like, we're all doing this and we're all doing it together. Troy, maybe talk a little bit about how you guys are enabling partners and what's moving it forward together as an ecosystem.
Yeah, great question. I mean, two things. There's the hardware element, right? All of our teams are out there in the field. Hardware upgrades are happening, basically seeding the market. So when you guys come along with a platform, you can roll it through the hardware, if that makes sense. The other side is obviously speeding up development, feature sets, anything to do with mobile access in general. So a lot more investment, a lot more support and training goes into that. So overall, we should see an eventual speed up of adoption in mobile access in the market.
So speaking of speed and acceleration of adoption, Leslie, like, maybe talk to us a little bit about what are the key drivers for mobile access at this point. What is actually making this become a solution that almost every enterprise is starting to at least plan for and begin to deploy?
Yeah, I think the main driving factor we see in the industry right now would probably be user experience. The convenience that one gets from having everything on the mobile device. They're already using it for the day-to-day, right? And what HID is really trying to deliver is extensive value, in the sense that the value we bring would be covering the cost that they would incur. So sometimes when we look at it from this perspective, you can't really put a cost on user experience, you can't really put a cost on convenience, but what we can do is we can provide a sense of security from our credentials are secure, right? And not only that, we are now empowering organizations to go through their digital transformation. We are empowering organizations to go through a holistic change to improve the entire system which their employees would be experiencing on a day-to-day basis. So I think that is what really drives the adoption for mobile right now and for the foreseeable future.
Well, and it's been a buzzword this week, and I think it is in the industry right now, but it's all about experience, right? People finally enjoy tapping in. Nobody likes a plastic card. It's a necessary evil that everybody carries around. But the reality is mobile brings this delightful, wonderful, exceptional experience. And it's not just tapping. It's the whole experience, from the time in which I put the app on my phone to using my same corporate credentials that I use for my other business applications, logging in, hitting that add to wallet button, same experience I went through with my American Express or my Visa or my MasterCard. Now to that last level of enjoyment, which is the actual tap experience at the door. And I really do believe, I think that is one of the things that is largely driving the acceleration of mobile right now, is it's just fun. People enjoy using it.
But even beyond that, Matt, the user experience is definitely a great point. But we heard in one of the panels today from the end users, it's also for the security team. Like it makes their job easier. It goes away from that manual input to that digital automation. That experience for the team, the security team, is also an exciting, innovation for them that I'm sure they can't wait to get their hands on that. But one of the things you said is this week was you emphasized the ecosystem for partners. And maybe Troy, you can talk a little bit about why our partners are so important to HID when it comes to mobile access. And what are they helping you do for customers to make that experience the best possible outcome?
Yeah, I mean, I think, to start with, partners started to leverage our reader infrastructure, right? I mean, globally, you saw this week, millions upon millions of readers out there in the field. It's a great conversation starter. It's, the first point where, a mobile experience or a conversation starts at least, We're using cards, we're going to go to mobile, let's look at the reader infrastructure. So that's part of it.
Yeah, maybe to add on to Troy's point, our team itself, what drives us every day is how do we provide more value to the end user. And I don't want to say that there's only so much value that HID can bring on the table, but in reality, we can provide much more value in the form of our technology partner solutions. And that's why we did this whole event. That's why we're building this whole ecosystem. That's why we have a robust partner program. At the end of the day, we are building a strong ecosystem to provide value-added solutions with HID, but they come from our technology part.
Well, and speaking of that, I mean, maybe Kamal, if you could talk a little bit about the new partner program, because it's gone through iterations over the years. It's changed, it's evolved. You guys are debuting your new revamped partner program. Talk a little bit about why you're changing it and what some of these changes are for the good.
Yeah, so one of the important changes and updates for 2025 is that we are launching our point system. And this is a great system that helps our partners to understand how they are going to evolve within the partner program, which in reality means they are on a success path in their business. So it will look at achievement in terms of licenses, and it will look on engagement. So we're trying to push our partners to achieve more points, higher tiers by not only by licenses, but by engagement. So for example, if you have a partner or two partners, both with the same amount of licenses, but one of them is engaging with us, the other one is not engaging so much, you would find the one that is engaging in the advanced tier status, while the one who's not engaging in the select. So we provide multipliers on the achievement when they transact with us, when they engage with us, both in marketing, adding features, attending Origin is a multiplier in itself, because we know when they come to us, they will get back energized with ideas. They get information from our experts that they would utilize and hopefully create better solutions.
So is it fair to say this is a very data-driven program? It's binary, there's metrics, no partner has advantages over other partners. It's a level playing field, and by the returns you bring to HID and the level of engagement with HID, that's how you make your mark,
Exactly.
Right?
So we have a calculator, we enter the facts, it gives you the points, there is no discussion about it. It's clear to everyone.
Amazing.
Another thing we are more focusing on this year is the benefits we're providing to our partners based on their engagement. So we are trying to provide these kind of benefits that will help our partners to deliver great outcomes to their customers. And that's what will increase adaptation in the mobile access.
Well, hopefully recording podcasts together with your partners is a win for everybody.
We're trying to engage, and this is great. That's right down our alley. We love to engage, and I love the fact that you're saying, hey, we want active partners, people who are participating in the success of customers and with HID. So we're all in, and we can't wait. So thank you for launching that. We can't talk about mobile without talking about big tech, and you guys definitely brought that up, and it was great to be able to talk about that. So big tech is involved between Apple, Google, and Samsung, and you guys support that from a wallet perspective, which is fantastic. But they innovate quickly, right? That's part of their success is to innovate quickly. How are you guys feeling in terms of the presence of big tech and the support, as well as sort of that pace of innovation? Is this something that all of us in the security industry can keep up with and be able to still deliver the performance that we want for our customers, even though that it is a kind of a David versus Goliath kind of situation? What are your thoughts on that?
It's an interesting question. One of the things I always said years ago was what happens when the tech giants enter the world of access. And we've seen that rapidly over the last 2 years and dribs and drabs before that. They bring a level of attention, which brings a level of excitement, right? Because the minute people hear a tech giant name, their ears perk up and they're like, what are they talking about? So it increases an engagement from that perspective, and users are interested. They raise the bar to a certain standard that they're used to globally. They're big on the experience, big on quality control. That always hasn't been the case for many, many years. So I see it as a positive overall.
Yeah, I would agree. I think overall, our physical security industry can be a little bit niche. And so this actually exposes physical security and access to the broader world, which is a great thing for all of us as we progress and try to grow this into a really large potential market for mobile access. So it's exciting.
I say this all the time. I think the disruption that they are bringing to our industry,
it's a good word,
but also their experience in ancillary markets, whether it be transit, payments, ticketing, loyalty, they've learned a lot about how to scale across with global reach. And I think that it would behoove our industry to not fight against it, but to take note and learn from them, and actually collaborate with these guys, not fight against them, embrace this change, because it truly is all in the spirit of delivering the best user experience possible.
Yeah, and in the end, we bring a level of expertise that is different than what they do. And so, between HID for decades, being able to provide access solutions to folks like Alert Enterprise and others in the market, we do have our expertise, our point of view that's important to our customers. So I think bringing those two things together is important.
Well, maybe just to add to that, one of the things I've noticed is they bring the why to the table. So the industry has a status quo approach, right? There's no questions asked. It's almost like a grandfather clause that comes down, right? The tech giants bring in this why. Why do you do this? Why again? Why again? After 3 whys, it's kind of dismissed. Then we start to ask them the why. So that collaborative approach, asking questions, is this really needed or should we pivot or whatever? I think it's destined to improve the industry overall.
That's amazing. So you can't have a thought about the market without this kind of prognostication, I'll say that again, without thinking forward around where the market is going. Because in the end, we have to think about 5 years, 10 years ahead as we sort of plan the future and future-proof this for our customers as well. So I'm going to ask each of you to answer this one. If you think, 5 years from now, or even maybe the other way around, 5 years from now, and you look back, what are some of the challenges that you think we have overcome that have completely changed the market, even accelerated adoption? Or what are things that you look back and say, wow, that was a tougher challenge for us to address, and more work is going to be needed?
From my side, door hardware has been the biggest challenge over the years. I mean, without that, none of these access options work, irrespective of the modality. That's becoming more and more prevalent, utilising the right hardware. So I think that problem's going to go away, but that was a massive problem for the industry many, many years ago. The other thing I think we'll look back on is we started with access, right? And day by day, we're pivoting into different use cases outside of physically unlocking a door, right? It could be authentication, it could be presence. We just don't know. That's what makes it really exciting. So the key is it's all around the phone, but it's like, what else can we use it for? So that's what I think we're going to see over the next few years, a massive evolution in use cases.
Kamal, any thoughts on that?
I would think I would say that it's about the mindset toward digitalization. So we still have a major portion in the market that do not understand the importance of digitalization and the adaptation of, for example, mobile access. So this is something we need to overcome by educating the customers and show for example, the operation efficiency of having mobile access. I mean, just that.
Yep. And Leslie, in your final thoughts?
Yeah, we covered a lot during this discussion, and my current thoughts is leaning more away from the product and from the industry and more on the process, right, of HID and the decisions we make. I feel that we spoke about innovation earlier, and this is the reality of the technology space that we're in. When we look at technology growth or innovation growth, it's not a linear process, it's exponential, right? So looking back 5 years, in 5 years' time, I'll be really proud at what we have started with and what we have done at the midpoint. And at the end point of, let's say, 5 years, we would probably have a really, really good product that is not created, it doesn't come from ideation, that is from a linear process. It's an exponential process. And I think HID has done a ton of investment in this space. We are well equipped in this space. I'm confident that we can come up with innovative approach and continue to innovate, not just within our organization, but with our tech partners as well.
Yeah, really well said, all of you. So again, thank you for an amazing week. We do look forward to what you have in store and being able to work together to bring that innovation to our customers. And see you next year at HID Origin.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe to our channel to stay up to date on the latest episodes. Share this episode with your network and engage with us in the comments below. We'll catch you on the next episode.